Hello, everyone. Hi there. Come on in, everybody. Come on in. Hi there. Hey there. Yes. Thank you for coming in. Hey there, Miss Mag. Hey there, Katie. How are you? God bless you, lady. Yes, everyone, come on in. Come on in. You need to cut it. Katie Ma. Good to see you. You're doing some amazing things. I love what you're doing. God bless you, sister. Love what you're doing. Keep moving forward. Come on in, everybody. So we're going to talk about some signs that you need that are key factors that you need to initiate no contact with this individual. If you're in a situation, yes, you're welcome. You're welcome. And hey there, Rashonda. Yes. You need to cut it. The signs that you need to cut and end a relationship. Hey there, lady. Please do share and invite your followers. And my name, for those of you who may be just joining or those of you who may come in on the replay, I am Tanika Breeden, author, certified Christian coach, author of the book, Get Out of That Dead End Relationship Now, a Christian woman's guide on how to get real, be healed, and move on. And I'm all about helping people derail, detox, and get disentangled from dead end relationships that no longer serve them. And so let's dive right in. If you have not invited your followers, I encourage you to do so. I always got 1,000 notes. Y'all know me. You know how I roll. But at any rate, anyway, we're going to talk about the signs that you need to cut contact. The signs that you just need to, oh my God, now my dog wants to bark. This is not right. Hush, shut up, Toby. Sorry, you guys. This is so undignified. Hush, Toby. You guys. Thank you. Hi there, Sharice T. Thank you for coming in. I try to do a broadcast and now the dog gonna start barking. His name is Toby. Hi there, Fiat. Thank you for coming in. Thank you. God bless you, sister. God bless you. Please do share and invite your followers. Okay, so you need to initiate no contact when normal breakup methods don't work. Hey there. Normal breakup routes don't work. You keep going back. Keep getting caught up in the same old mess. Keep getting enmeshed and entangled with that person again. Or they block it, or they're obstructive. They don't want to let you go and all of that kind of foolishness. If you have that kind of perpetual drama going on, we got to be able to cut the contact. So number one, so if you want to put this in the chat box, number one, it's one-sided. If the relationship is one-sided and your feelings are not reciprocated, you're the one that you have all the feelings, they're not coming back with the same depth, the same intensity, the same love, the same feelings that you have. And so it's one-sided, and you're still hanging around there, and you know that they don't have the same level of feelings for them. That's a sign that you need to cut that thing. That's sign number one. Sign number two, if the relationship is always conducted on their terms. And let me give a caveat to this. I'm learning this from Natalie Liu. She's a relationship blogger out of the UK. And this is part of a process out of the Mr. Unavailable and the fallback girl. And see, when you're a fallback girl, it's hard for you to initiate the no contact. If you are a fallback girl, you're a buffer girl, you're an emotion, you're someone's landing. And you're absorbing their issues. When you're a fallback girl, that's a whole different separate scope. But if you're in a relationship and that relationship is being conducted on their terms, you can't have things your way. Yeah, a fallback girl. I talk about that in one of my other scopes, more into that. But whenever you try to do things your way, yes, a rebound chick. You're met with stonewalling. You're met with the silent treatment. You're ignored. They do the disappearing act. It's hostility. Yes. Date from a place of power and be in a relationship from a place of power. Absolutely. That's right. And so that's right, Kwanda. And so whenever you try to get things your way, you get met with the stonewalling, the disappearing, not returning your texts, not returning your phone calls. That's a sign you need to cut it. That's a sign that you need to cut it. All right. Number three, if you just feel like you slap losing your mind, when you are in a situation where it's relationship insanity, you feel like you're just going to lose your mind in this relationship, point blank, period. You need to cut it. That's sign, what did I say? That's sign number 3 or 4. All right. Sign number 4. I'm looking at my notes. You try to break up and you keep going back. You try to break up, you keep going back. They won't listen to you. They won't even let you break up. And you just keep going on. Yes. Bye, Felicia. Well, people do this. People do this, K. Wanda. That's right. You try to break up, they won't listen. You stay in there. You need to cut it. You need to cut it. Thank you for those beautiful hearts. Please do share and invite your followers. Continue to do that. Swipe and invite. They won't stop calling me. This is number 5. No, wait a minute. I'm losing track of my numbers, you guys. I've asked them to give me space, but they won't leave me alone. I've asked them to give me space, but they won't leave me alone. If you see yourself in that, it's time for you to cut it. It's time to cut it. They won't leave you alone. You need to get out of there. They won't stop calling, texting me despite repeated warnings to stop. Sometimes I feel like I need a restraining order. That is a sign you need to be out of that relationship. Hi there, Kay. Thank you for coming in. Snippety snip. Snippety snip. That's right. You need to cut it. You need to cut it. Here's another one. They blow hot. You know, when you're threatening we say, okay, I'm through with this. I'm tired of you. This relationship is not working. Then they get all hot and heavy and intense. They're all on you like a rash, giving you attention, buying gifts, speaking all of these wonderful words of how much they love you and blah, blah, blah. So they're blowing hot. They're very intense. They're on you like a rash. And then once they get you back in, then they start backing back off. And then it goes to lukewarm. And then they straight up cold. You need to cut it. If that has happened to you, you need to cut it. Blowing hot, getting all intense, all on you, all over you. And then, yes. Well, it happens. It happens. This is real. This is real. Let me look here what I wrote down here. Here's a big one. I mean, this is pretty straightforward. If there is an absence of love, trust, and respect. There's an absence of love, trust, respect, and care. Yeah, they try to reel you back in. That's right, Fiat. But here's a very clear and deep sign. There is no trust and there is no respect. No trust and no respect. You need to cut it because it's not a reciprocal. Every relationship should have that commitment. It should have progression. It should have deepening levels of emotional and spiritual intimacy. And you most definitely need, as a foundation, trust and respect and love. Right? If you don't have that, then what are you there for? Why are you still hanging on to that? All right. Secondly, if you're engaging in any type of humiliating and embarrassing behavior in this relationship, if you are, yes, amen, Kate, yes, amen. If you're embarrassed, compromising yourself, feeling humiliated in any of your actions or behavior, if you're blowing up his phone, if you're doing stuff that diminishes who you are as a woman, that's diminishing your worth, that's compromising the call of God on your life, or compromising what you know is right, and you are engaging in this, and it brings a sense of humiliation or a sense of embarrassment, any type of behavior or action that you're doing in this relationship to maintain it or sustain it, and it's bringing that feeling on you, that is a sign you need to cut it. A sign that you need to cut contact with this individual. All right. If you feel like, here's another sign, you have been rejected. You've been rejected several times. He had, some type of deep personal level of rejection emotionally or spiritually in this relationship, because relationships involve acceptance. You have to be able to be vulnerable with this person, and they need to be able to accept you for the totality of the woman that you are. And if they're not able to accept you for who you are, and if they are repeatedly rejecting you and you're still there, so that's so deep on so many levels, because if you're subjecting yourself to that situation, that is a very serious indicator of low self-worth, low self-esteem, because no woman should ever be in a situation where she is being repeatedly subjecting herself to being rejected over and over and over again. So if you're feeling rejected and you're still in that situation, that's a sign that you need to cut it. Thank you for those hearts. If you have not shared and invited your followers, please do so. All right. If you feel like, and I've lost track of what number this is, but if you feel like this person is like an addiction, like it's compulsive almost, like you can't get enough of them, like this is like some type of crack. If the relationship feels like that, and you keep returning, you keep going back, and it's the same disappointment, the same thing keeps happening, but you just keep going back because you're addicted, that's a sign. It's not healthy. Absolutely not healthy for you, and you need to cut it. You need to cut it. If you have little or no boundaries in this relationship, if the whole relationship dynamic revolves on you not having any boundaries for yourself, you don't know how to draw a line in the sand for yourself, you can't separate yourself from this other person because you're so enmeshed, and so they kind of overtake you. You have no personal boundaries. You can't say no. That is a sign. You need to cut it. You need to cut it. Because if you had some real boundaries, they probably wouldn't even be around to start with. If you had real boundaries to start with and knew where you began and the other person ended or so forth, then you probably would not even have that person in your relationship to start with. Your boundary markers would have went off that they were unsafe. Hi there, Thunder Man. Thank you for coming in. Thank you for joining. All right. If they have treated you with disrespect, just continuously treat you with contemptuous disrespect, and they have continuously broken your trust, they have betrayed you, that is a sign you need to cut it. You need to cut it. That's right. If they have broken your trust, if they have just flat out disrespected you, and you're still sitting up in that, that's a sign that you need to end that relationship. All right. Here's another one. If they are future faking. And what do I mean when I say future faking? We have men, there are situations where they future fake and fast forward relationships. What do I mean when I say that? They're future faking and making promises of a future just to get what they want from you in the present. And then when you get to this anticipated, perceived, make-believe future, it's really non-existent. So you're making promises of marriage, promises of this. Yes, we future fake. And we get caught up in the future faking because of our fantasies. Our hormones. See, us women, a coffee date is all you're supposed to do is sip and see. A coffee date is for sipping and seeing, right? But what do we do as women sometimes? We're already writing our last name behind here, making his last name our last name. We're already in Fantasyland, already at church meeting the pastor. We're already married with 2 babies, and all we're at is a coffee date. A coffee date, you're just sipping and you're going to see what this person is about. It's our fantasies as women that can get us easily caught up in future faking. And so a man that's a fast forwarder and a future faking, it works really good with the woman that lives in Fantasyland. Right? And so if they future fake to get what they want in the present. And again, yes, there are women who would do that as well. K. Wanda. Absolutely right. Another one. Fantasies don't work. You have to be rooted in reality. And see, when you've been gone without dates for so long, been gone without being touched for so long, you got touch deprivation. And then the first man that shows up that gives you attention. So it's a combination of the attention and the attraction. I call the 2 A's, attention and attraction. They give you attention, and you're attracted to them. All sense goes out the window. All common sense and logic and reason and sound judgment and discernment can go out the window if you're not rooted and grounded in who you are and really have a strong sense of self and self-worth. Then you will be prone to the future faking and the fantasy land. And then a lack of attention from the opposite sex, plus you're attracted, and now you got a situation, and it's not God's best for your life. You're not flowing. And then it keeps you from really flowing in your purpose and being that healthy woman of God that you're called to be. So another sign, getting back to my topic, because that was off topic. Another sign that you need to cut it is if they have no empathy for you and don't care about how the impact of their actions on you. If they're doing things, making decisions, just doing stuff, and they don't care how it affects you, that is a sign that you need to cut that relationship. They have to be thinking about the impact of their decisions and their actions on you. And if they're not doing that, why are you in that relationship? All right. If you are afraid of them, if they're verbally and physically and emotionally abusive, if you are literally afraid of the person that you are with and they are abusive towards you, that is a sign you need to cut it. That's a sign. If you have forgotten who you are, you guys are quiet, ain't nobody saying nothing. What in the world? What y'all doing? Come on, give me a heart. Let me see something here. Hope you guys have shared and invited your followers, because this is really important. Because there are lots of people who are in situations like this. There are lots of people who are in these types of situations. And so if you've forgotten who you are, and I've lost track of all my numbers, but if you've forgotten who you are, your values, your boundaries, what your needs are, your hobbies, your purpose, your family, your friends, your purpose in God, if you've forgotten all about who you are in this relationship, you don't even know who you are as a result of being in this relationship. God bless you. That's right. Thank you, Miss Mac. I'm glad. But if you don't know who you are because of being in this relationship, that is a sign you need to cut it. Yes, having marriage plastered everywhere is hard. I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Elaborate a little bit further, Kay. Another sign that you need to just finally cut this thing is if you've broken up several times and for the same old stuff over and over again. You keep breaking up, get back together, you break up again, and it's the same stuff that you keep breaking up over. What is that pattern? There's some type of dysfunctional dynamic going on where you're breaking up over the same reasons and keep getting back together. That's a sign that it's unhealthy. Another sign is when they promised that they would change, and then the last time you broke up, that, okay, we're going to change, I'm going to do better, and then you get back together and it's the same old okie doke. Same old okie doke. Same old story. They promised they would change, promised things were going to get better. You get caught. Yeah, every time you look, there's talk about marriage. Yeah, it makes it difficult. But, you have to get to a point where you're settled within yourself, that you want a healthy marriage. And that you also have to reach a point where you realize that you can be totally and completely content alone, because you're going into it alone. And so to the extent that you're wholehearted by yourself will be the extent that you can really enjoy and have a fruitful marriage, because you don't want a needy and clingy man either. You want two really strong individuals. And then when people, and when you look around and marriage is not the end all. God did not put us on the earth just to be married. When we die, we won't be married anymore. Marriage is not the end all and be all. It's like an addition. It's like a icing on the cake, so to speak. And so, yes, it does make it hard. I know how you feel, because I've been there, and I want to be married. But at the same time, I've been through enough to where it's like, I'm content. And that takes time to get to that place. It takes time to get to that place. But it's better to be single and wholehearted than to be in a jacked up situation like some of this stuff I'm in, that I'm describing here. There are people that are married now that are absolutely miserable. And it's just not worth your peace. It's not worth your peace. It's not worth your clarity. It's not worth your wholeness. Another sign, yeah, she got that little sad, mad face. What is that mad face, Kay? Yeah, I know. Another person, if another person looked at your relationship from the outside in, if they looked at your relationship and felt like it was looked at it and like, this is not really a real relationship, or if other people from the outside looked at it and were like, this is kind of a booty call, that's kind of a sign that it needs to end as well. I'm just going down my list here. Another sign that the relationship is not right and that you need to cut it is if, it's just not even really a relationship. You're not even really with them, and they keep trying to sleep with you, and that they're with someone else, but they keep trying to hit up on you. No. That is a sign. If you're in that type of a situation where you know that they are with someone else, they're married, they're all otherwise attached, but they're still inboxing you, still trying to get up with you, still sending you text messages, cut them off, right? That is a sign. If you used to be the girlfriend, but now you're the side woman or the side chick, you've been demoted, that's a sign that it needs to be cut. I'm just going through this list. If they are attached or married and they keep making promises that they're going to end it, but they still haven't done it yet, and you still keep waiting, but they want to have you in the back pocket, and they still want the privileges of marriage. They don't want the final closure of going through the process of the divorce. So they want to keep you, but they want to have the best of both worlds. You need to cut it. Those are the signs. Those are the top signs. Yes. It is not a good, healthy place for a woman to be in that type of situation. No, you deserve better. It's not healthy. Those type of relationships, you got to stay hidden. And you're not meant to live like that. Not meant to live like that. You're worthy of true, real, out in the open, public, healthy, authentic, full-fledged, committed relationship. Nothing less than God's best for you. And so the question to ask yourself, if you find your public, no hidden stuff, no on the down low, no whatever, it's got to be public and open. See, there's a difference between having a private relationship and a secret relationship. You want your relationship to be private. You get in a relationship, you don't have to you don't have to put your status on Facebook. You don't have to have cute couple pictures all over the place. Every 5 minutes, it's a picture of you and your boo. No, you can have a private relationship where the people who are close to you know, the people that need to know, where, your family, your kids know, your pastor, people at church, your immediate circle, they know, but people out in the world, your 5,000 friends on Facebook don't need to know your business. However, a secret relationship was when no one knows, and when you're being hidden. That is unhealthy. We don't want secrecy, because the only thing that grows in the darkness, I heard this from Prophet Apostle Brian Meadows, the only thing that grows in the darkness is fungus and bacteria. There's no modesty anymore. The only thing that grows hidden in the darkness is fungus and bacteria. So every relationship should be able to be exposed to the light. Come on, somebody. If my relationship cannot be exposed in the light of day to my community, then it's not a relationship that I need to be in. You want a relationship that can stand the test and the heat and the scrutiny of the light, and you still feel good about it. But if you got to be all secret and shuffling around in the dark and being all hidden, why are you in that? God is a God of light. If you feel hidden, if you're in a situation, thank you for joining Watchella. I'm almost near the end of this, so be sure to catch the replay. And those of you who have not done so, please share and invite your followers. So we're talking about the signs that you need to cut it. That's right. Every relationship belongs in the light of day. If it's a secretive relationship that's in the darkness, like I heard from Apostle Brian Meadows, the only thing that grows in the darkness is fungus and bacteria. And if your relationship is all up in the darkness, it probably got some fungus and bacteria. It's probably not healthy for you. So it's not healthy for you to be hiding out being a side chick. That's right, Kay. You deserve more than being a side chick or being in some hot mess situation that's not God's best for you. And that's why I'm doing this closure class. bit.ly/the closure class. And we're going to get into it. So how much more of this, of drama and feeling bad and being treated poorly do you need before you finally end it and cut the contact? I mean, how much more would a person need? I don't know how many, are sometimes we stay in these relationships. Are you just buying time for the right time to break up because you don't want to give up your investment? But what is it that would keep you in a situation where you're being disrespected, hidden in the dark, where you're not being true to who you are, where you're struggling and you're praying and it's just not right? You keep getting tangled back up again, keep getting enmeshed with this person again. You have this whole thing going on in your head about the relationship that's causing confusion and anxiety. Bit.ly is my closure class that we're having on Thursday, June 22nd. And I'm going to see, I've been giving out a lot of information on my scopes, but it's nowhere close to what I'm going to put out in this class, where I'm going to break it down on what we need to do to get our minds right and actually initiate the steps to break up in a healthy way. And we're going to go in on this class. It's next Thursday. You can sign up at the link here on the scope title, bit.ly, the closure class, Thursday the 22nd, 8 o'clock p.m. Eastern time. And so you need to sign up for this if you are on the edge, on the teetering edge. You're thinking about breaking up. You know you need to break up. You know that this relationship is not working for you. You don't have the courage to call it quits. There are certain little reasons and things going on that's keeping you in it. Even if it's marriage, even if you've got children involved, even church obligations, all of this stuff that keeps us in it. And most of all, I believe it's just the pain of missing someone. We don't want to go through pain for whatever reason. We don't want to feel pain. So you have to make a decision. What's worse, the pain of staying stuck in here or the pain of getting out? The pain of getting out, eventually you're going to feel free if you pass through that pain. No matter how you cut it, no matter how you slice it, breaking up hurts. It hurts. It will hurt. So just face that. It will hurt. You will feel some pain. Lack of affection. That's so powerful and profound. I'm glad you said that, Kay. Because you deserve affection. Obviously, that is something key and important. And most women, 99% of us, we need the affection. Yes, it does, but it's worth it. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And if you're lacking affection in your relationship, that's very, how long do you want to live like that? How long do you want to live with a person that's supposed to be intimate with you on an emotional and spiritual level, and they don't have the capacity to show you the affection that you need? If you've done if you feel like this is overall a good relationship, you just lack affection, period. Okay, I understand. That's hard. That's hard. And so that's a different type of a scope. But if you're needing that, if you're talking in terms of your relationship, not in general or just your relationship, the closure class can help you with that. But in general, that's a deeper issue that will require more coaching or counseling. But so when you're in that space where you have this perceived deficit in your relationship, it's ongoing, it's chronic, then if you're going to decide that, okay, am I going to be in this? Yeah, in general. Okay, I got it. So coaching and counseling might be something you want to consider. And as we're talking in terms of the scope of relationships, if you're in a situation and you've done all you can and you want to salvage it, or you feel like, don't cry, sister, don't make me cry. It's hard. Yeah. Send me an email, tanika@tanikabreeden.com. Perhaps we need to schedule something, schedule some coaching. But when you've done all you can, don't be crying for no weepy tears on the scope. Don't be putting no weepy tears on the scope. So if you've done all that you can, or rather, I guess the way I want to say this is, if you're married, and divorce is not an option for you, then what are you going to do to strengthen your inner game on the inside? If you like, okay, I'm going to stay in this relationship, come hell or high water, to death do us part. I'm not getting any affection. He doesn't respect me. I don't trust him. I don't even know if I love him. This is a bad marriage. But now I'm sitting in church with this man and we up here pretending we got this relationship and I got all these expectations and obligations. If you are making that type of a decision where you're going to stay in this thing, then my advice to you is to strongly get some counseling and get some therapy, because your inner game in here and your inner game in here need to be tight. Because you got to build up your inner core. You got to build up your worthiness. You got to build up your self-esteem. You got to be able to self-feed and fulfill yourself from within. And you got to be strong enough and get all the healing, the counseling, the therapy, the coaching you need if you're making a decision to stay in an unhealthy relationship. If I'm going to stay because divorce is not an option, then you best get all the help and the support you need. Do not be isolated in a jacked up situation. If you're going to make that decision, strengthen your inner game, strengthen your mind, heal up your spirit, get your emotions together. Yes, if he refuses counseling, so you must leave. All right, then we got to have a game plan. You've signed up for the class, I believe. So we're going to go down into your strategy. We're going to talk about that. Be strong. That's right. That's right. And so we're going to be talking about that in the closure class, like the steps we need to go through, preparing your mind, preparing your spirit, preparing your emotions, the actual conversation, breaking it down. Yes, go to counseling for yourself and to heal. It is so important when you're ending a relationship, and if you decide to stay in a dysfunctional relationship, then you're going to need tools, you're going to need language, you're going to need strategies, you're going to need something to help you in your inner self in order to stay in that relationship. And see, what most women do, we just take on that model role, we get very self-sacrificial, we close in on ourselves, we isolate, and we just suffer and hurt and be in pain because divorce and separation and it's not an option. If that is what you need to do, then make sure you're strengthening your inner game. And I'm not minimizing the impact of the spirituality, but of course you got to be prayed up. You need to strengthen your relationship with God. You need to have close community with people that can support you and stand by you. This is in a breakup, after a breakup. If you choose to stay in a jacked up relationship, you're going to need all of that in every situation. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. And I'm going to be talking more about this in the closure class. So make sure you join that if you are in that space right now. If that's where your head is right now, every day you're waking up thinking about this man and this relationship and what's going on, and you don't have peace, and it's a struggle for you, then I strongly suggest that you get in on the closure class. bit.ly/the closure class. That's Thursday, June 22nd, 8:00 p.m. Eastern time. I'm getting the materials ready now, and I'm getting ready. It's going to be good. You're going to get a lot more. This is free. Let me say that the class is free. So there's no reason, right? Get in on it. Get in on it, and let's begin the process of healing and ordering our lives, getting our minds straight to exit dead end relationships, and to get ourselves positioned for God to heal us, bless us, and prosper us in our soul as women of God. So God bless you. That's all I came on here to say. And thank you for the faithful ones. Kay for coming in. Fiat was here. Just thank you all for just being here. Miss Erin Mack. So God bless you, ladies. And if you haven't shared and invited your followers, please do so. And those of you who may come in on the replay, again, I am Tanika Breeden, author, certified Christian life coach. Thank you so much. Certified Christian life coach, author of the book, Get Out of That Dead End Relationship Now. So this is my book. The Christian Woman's Guide on How to Get Real, Be Healed, and Move On, available in Amazon.com, in Kindle and in paperback. So God bless you all. Have a lovely evening and take care. Bye-bye.